Alright, what's up guys, and welcome to yet another video in which I'm going to be complaining about Man United, another bad performance. Where can we really start here? Okay, I know where to start. First of all, I gotta say, I'm gonna be upfront with you guys, I wasn't able to watch large portions of the match. I missed the first about 20-25 minutes of the first half, and I missed, actually, I don't know exactly what the minute was, but I turned it on right when they scored their second goal, I think it was, and Martial obviously scored our only goal. I can't remember if that was when I turned it on the first time or the second time. I'm pretty sure it was the first time. Anyway, I missed large portions of the match, so I'm not necessarily going to talk about the performance itself too much. What I want to talk about is simply what it means at this point in time, not just for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but for our chances of getting through the Champions League round of 16. Now, obviously, we're looking good in terms of our points. We have 6 points from 3 matches, which, considering we're in a group of death, it's actually a decent amount of points. The issue is we drop points against the only team where nobody should be dropping points. And realistically, I don't think anybody will lose to Basaksehir, however how you pronounce their name. I don't think that's the case. Obviously, Leipzig, I think, beat them in the first match. We beat PSG, then we beat PSG, and then we beat Leipzig, and PSG beat them. So there's really, I don't think anybody other than us is going to lose to them. It's never necessarily easy when you go to Turkey, but when you have the fans in the building, just because Turks are a very specific bunch of people, especially when it comes to their fandom for the sport. I mean, they're notoriously frustrating to deal with, I guess you could say, when you are an away club traveling to Turkey. They make a bunch of noise. They have fireworks constantly. They're not fireworks. They have flares constantly all night long. They make it difficult for you. But that's not an excuse because obviously there were no fans in the building or anything like that. So I don't think that's really an excuse. It's an empty stadium, so it's essentially a level playing field for all. It's literally who performs the best on the day as opposed to who kind of performs the best alongside not cracking under the pressure of having a hard fan base around you. But with that aside, let's talk about what this really means moving forward. Because like I said, I saw portions of the match, and obviously we were going after them pretty much the entire time, but defensively we are an absolute disgrace, and there is no way in hell you can put this down to not having starters. I mean, most of our starters were there. Rashford was there. Bruno Fernandes was there. Martial was there. Pogba played. I mean, almost all our starters were there. So there's no excuse. And even it doesn't matter if our starters are there or not. Our under 23 team should be able to get past Basaksehir any day of the week. That's just the reality of things. I mean, for the level of club we are, we should be laughing every time Basaksehir touches the ball, let alone losing to them 2-1. What does that mean? Well, assuming that PSG beat Leipzig today, which at the point of me recording, PSG is winning 1-0, then that would put them at 6 points, even with us, with Leipzig and Basaksehir at 3 points. Our next match would be Basaksehir at home. So, you would assume, never assume because that makes it an ass out of you and me, but you would expect us to win. We should win, and we should go up to 9 points. At that point, all we would need is one more point to go into the last 16 out of the last 2 matches. That's all we need is another win and a draw. Realistically, that's what we have to shoot for. What I have to say, though, is this hurts because we're coming off of a loss to Arsenal where, first of all, Arsenal are bitter rivals. Second of all, it was against a team that has been really shit as of late. Obviously, I'm at Arsenal. And in a situation where we really needed the win. And I feel like tonight we really needed the win too, because that would have almost guaranteed us first spot moving into the last 16, which could be huge. Because if you go to the last 16, you could be avoiding one of the best teams in Europe. That's just the reality of things. But if you end up at second, then you could definitely be getting against Barcelona, Real Madrid. Of course, those are 2 examples that aren't at their peak. But we could get a Bayern Munich. All guaranteed exits, to be completely frank. And I feel like the person that has to be under the radar right now the most, and that's just the way things are, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The question remains, is Ali good enough to manage us out of this tough time? And here's the thing, I don't actually think that Ali is a great manager. But if you look at who's available, realistically, who's going to change things? I mean, there's two managers available I think are likely to replace Ali. Mauricio Pochettino and Massimiliano Allegri. Those are the two guys I think have a big enough profile to be brought in and could potentially make a difference. Pochettino, for his offensive style, and if you look at the players that we have right now, I definitely think we favor an offensive style, and I think he would probably get the best out of our team in terms of the work rate. The problem is, our issue right now isn't offensively. It is clearly defensively. And it's not it's not a matter of the system is wrong. It is simply individual errors. Whether it's Paul Pogba, whether it's Harry Maguire, whether it's Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, everybody has these moments where they just make these huge individual errors and it ends up costing us big time. Every match it happens. Last time was Paul Pogba, who, to be fair to him, he did come out and admit he's just not being good enough. He started 3 matches this season and he's given away 3 penalties in each. Each fucking match he started, he's given away a penalty. Embarrassing and shambolic by him. And I don't know if it's down to lack of confidence, a lack of concentration, a mix of the two. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know how to fix it. But the problem is clearly there, and it is for everyone to see. How it can be fixed, I don't know. So if we're talking about fixing defensive issues, Massimiliano Allegri is the best option, because Allegri has a proven background in winning things. He took Juventus to 2 Champions League finals, losing them both, of course. But in his defense, he lost to one of the best Barcelona teams of all time with Messi, Neymar, and Suarez, and he lost to one of the best Real Madrid teams of all time. So we're talking about all-time great clubs. All-time great squads that he lost to in finals. So it's, fair enough. But he took a much more modest team than both of those to the Champions League final. I feel like, excuse me, I do feel like he absolutely deserves a big job. But the thing still remains. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the reason? No. Is he part of the reason? Probably. Because he's clearly, his issue clearly is he's very smart at setting up tactically against the big teams because they're going to pressure you. And Arsenal aren't a big team. Not anymore. You know what I mean? We're on our way to being Arsenal. That's just the reality. They are not a City, a Liverpool. They're not even a Leicester. They're not even a Chelsea. You know what I mean? Like, they're not that anymore. They just aren't. And we're very much going towards being an Arsenal-level club when it comes to our continuous inadequacy in terms of fixing our issues and finding a solution. I just don't know what the solution is. All I know is this can't continue. And if it does, obviously the person who's going to be sacrificed is going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But we know what the issue is. The issue is simply that there is no actual plan. Ole clearly knew we needed a right winger. We didn't sign a right winger. We needed a center back. We didn't sign a center back. We needed a center mid, not a Van de Beek, which I love Van de Beek, but he's not a center mid that we needed. We needed somebody who's going to give balance. We don't have that. We have Paul Pogba. We have Bruno Fernandes, 2 guys that are very offensively. McTominay, he puts in a great effort. He's a good player, but he's not world class. Nemanja Matic is far past his prime. He can put in a good shift here and there, but he's just not consistent enough at this point, and he's just not good enough at this point to be a starter. We needed somebody who's really going to bring that balance, and we failed to sign pretty much every position we desperately needed an improvement on, and that is just the reality, except for left back. We brought in Alex Telles, who unfortunately has COVID, so he can't play. Edinson Cavani is a nice signing, but he's not playing. Van de Beek is a nice signing, but he's not playing. And today he did play, but he was playing as a CDM. He is far from being a CDM. That's just the reality of things. So a mix between players not performing, manager making tactical mistakes, defensive just individual errors. We are a fucking shambolic team right now, a shambolic club. We have been for a long time. And if things like this, if things continue this way, it's going to be a very, very long time before we even get out of this shithole. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of this match and of United in general. And I will see you in the next video.